Hello, and thank you for joining us. We begin with a rare and concerning story. Lethbridge police have charged a 12-year-old boy with attempted murder after he allegedly stabbed his younger brother multiple times at their home. Carson Marsouk has more.
A 7-year-old boy is recovering in hospital after being nearly stabbed to death in a case that leaves one Lethbridge family in turmoil and heartbreak. The boy's 12-year-old brother is accused of attacking him while they were alone at their Northside Lethbridge home last week, but police only made the shocking announcement Friday.
The victim's 12-year-old brother said an unknown male entered the residence and stabbed the child before fleeing the scene. The victim was transported by EMS to the Chinook Regional Hospital and later airlifted to Edmonton for further medical treatment.
Through their investigation, officers say no one ever entered the home and instead alleged the 12-year-old stabbed his brother multiple times.
A search warrant was executed at the residence and a knife believed to be involved in the offense was seized. As the investigation progressed, evidence was obtained indicating the 12-year-old boy had stabbed his brother repeatedly and believed he'd killed him.
Investigators say an hour passed before their father got home, found his son in serious medical distress, and called 911. The child, who cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, has been charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault. He is currently in custody awaiting a bail hearing.
There is a tendency among some police agencies to overcharge with the hopes of getting some kind of a plea deal or something along those lines. And, you know, that kind of smells like this to me, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, these circumstances are incredibly rare, which is and concerning. Anytime there's this level of violence used in our community, it should be an extreme concern, but we were able to have an immediate response and ensure there was no threat to the community.
The younger boy was first taken to Chinook Regional Hospital before being airlifted to Edmonton's Stollery Hospital for advanced care. He is now in stable condition. Carson Marsouk, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Meanwhile, an alleged cult leader and self-proclaimed Queen of Canada appeared in Swift Current Court this morning.
Remember, innocent until proven guilty, huh?
Romana Didelot gathered a following with her and her QAnon-inspired conspiracy theories. She and 15 of her followers were arrested this week when police found imitation firearms at their Richmond, Saskatchewan compound, which is an hour away from Medicine Hat. Didelot was released with conditions but re-arrested when she failed to comply. She has refused legal representation and will remain in custody until her bail hearing Monday. Didelot and her followers set up the compound in 2023, claiming she had somehow overthrown the government of Canada. A Staveley woman has been charged after drugs were found in her airport luggage. On August the 7th, border officers at the Calgary airport flagged a suspicious piece of luggage. A search of that luggage and a carry-on bag revealed cannabis, fentanyl, cocaine, and drug paraphernalia. 46-year-old Amy Diane Hadou faces a number of drug charges. She's scheduled to appear in court on September the 10th. And we have an update for you from Lethbridge Police. They say 33-year-old Carter Rains, who was wanted on outstanding arrest warrants, is back in police custody. LPS thanked the public and media for their help. Well, Danielle Savoni, it was a lot cooler this morning. Some might even say fall-like.
Yeah, we've been experiencing some fall-like conditions so far. Just get a little taste of it, but temperatures will rise again, and we're getting a little more sunshine and, hey, cleaner air. So that's nice. Okay, temperatures right now in those lower 20s throughout all of southern Alberta, as you can see right here. We will warm up from here. Now, what I do have to mention is it's that time of year when, yeah, we may still get into the 20s during the day, but because we have less sunshine, less amount of sunshine throughout the day, it gets colder at night. And so frost advisory in the blue, as you can see here, Medicine Hat, east of Brooks, over to Lloydminster. We'll have your full forecast in just a little bit, Jackie.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Well, the latest job numbers from Statistics Canada show a soft job market in Lethbridge. It's particularly tough for young people who have seen youth unemployment hit its highest level in years. Quinn Keenan has that story.
In August, Lethbridge's unemployment rate rose a full percentage point to 6.7%. It's the highest local unemployment rate since February 2022. While it's not necessarily a trend, it's a number to keep an eye on.
A 1% jump in a single month up to 6.7 is a big change in the market. I think it's really important that people not panic. These numbers are pretty volatile month to month, so we're always looking for multi-month trends.
Wholesale and retail trade has seen a dramatic loss in jobs over the last year. In August 2024, there were 12,400 people working in wholesale and retail in Lethbridge. Now it's just 8,600, with 1,000 job losses coming in August alone.
We see the strength of people shopping in different ways than they used to. That could be a factor. We know retailers are responding by changing their business model and decreasing, in many cases, a lot of this, the square footage they have for their front retail, and they're doing a lot more direct order or warehousing operations.
Youth unemployment remained high at 14.5% nationally. Youth Unemployment Services has seen a rush of young people looking for work. With so many young people looking for work, there aren't enough jobs to go around.
After the summer that we've had, seeing the amount of youth coming through, that were literally telling us exactly what the numbers are telling us now. 1 in every 5 coming through could not find a job.
A tough youth job market is taking a toll on local students. The U of L Students' Union has seen plenty of students coming in asking for help with the job search. Many are also asking about financial aid to help them get by.
Youth unemployment so far is more than the statistics. It is the reality of so many students here at the University of Lethbridge, which is so unfortunate. However, we have seen such spike in that.
Lethbridge's unemployment rate is still below the national average of 7.1% and the Alberta rate of 8.4%. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
The federal government has announced its strategy to support sectors impacted by U.S. trade tariffs, and it includes a $5 billion strategic fund.
First, to help businesses pivot to new products and markets. Secondly, to retrain and retain skills and production here in Canada. And thirdly, to make our businesses globally competitive. So businesses can use these funds to invest in the design of new products, to retool their plans to boost productivity, or to offset the costs of accessing new markets.
A new policy will be in place by October to ensure the federal government buys from Canadian suppliers. Ottawa is also pausing its 2026 electric vehicle target and immediately starting a review of the EV mandate. There's also a new reskilling package to train 50,000 workers. A labor disruption looms over Coaldale tonight. Tomorrow at 4 p.m., the town has served notice it will lock out unionized municipal staff, and those AUPE employees say they will hit the picket line when the lockout happens. A few weeks ago, the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees representing the workers voted to reject the town's third contract offer in a nearly year-long contract stalemate. Stirling Mayor Trevor Lewington has resigned ahead of next month's election. The now former mayor sold his home in Stirling, forcing his resignation.
My wife and I sold our home, and we had tried to line up the timing of that to coincide with municipal elections that occur across the province in October. Unfortunately, it sold a little faster than we anticipated, and so we handed over the keys. And as soon as you cease to be a resident of the jurisdiction, you're no longer eligible for elected office at the municipal level.
Lewington says he is grateful for the 12 years he was able to spend on council. He currently has no plans to re-enter politics in the future. Municipal elections across Alberta will be held October the 20th. The City of Lethbridge is encouraging residents to apply to be members on one of its councils, many boards, commissions, and committees. Staff say each role provides an opportunity to take part in present and future direction of the city. A recruitment campaign is now underway with anyone invited to apply. Some of the positions include sitting on the Police Commission, Subdivision and Development Appeal Boards, the new Community Requirements Appeal Board, or Galt Museum Board.
It's a municipal election year. We'd like to see individuals keep their interest in our local government, to get involved with the City of Lethbridge, keep getting their voice heard, and continuing engaging on important topics and decisions here.
Applications can be submitted on the city's website until October the 24th. The Honoring Traditions and Reconciliation Society is hosting events all next week to highlight Blackfoot culture. The events will lead to their third annual powwow next weekend at the Agri-Food Hub and Trade Center. New this year is a princess pageant. Contestants aged 1 to 7 will be competing in 3 different age groups, 1 to 70 rather. The week also features fashion shows, conferences, and more. Organizers hope to educate both Indigenous and non-Indigenous about Blackfoot culture.
Powwow dance is one of the ways to start building those conversations, because that's what we always do in the community. We'll go do powwow demonstrations, and then we can start talking about reconciliations.
This is the first ever Princess pageant that we're running this year, and we're very excited to honor our young Indigenous women to kind of build those bridges between reconciliation.
The Princess pageant will be held September the 10th and the powwow on the 13th and 14th. Lethbridge Polytechnic's Spatial Technologies Applied Research and Training Center has completed a virtual reality training scenario project for a Calgary-based company. Talo Project Services partnered with the START Center to create different project management training scenarios to reshape their clients' learning experiences. The two-year project produced 3 fully interactive scenarios that will be used in the company's project management certification programs. The scenarios are designed to bring energy and engagement to personal and professional development.
Taleo made a decision to actively reinforce and encourage young people to learn more about project management. But with its boring topic, we chose virtual reality to engage them and entice them to learn a little bit differently.
When you're in that immersive environment, it embodies that learning. And so through the interaction and through being in that experience, it's like doing it in the physical world, but it allows you to do it in a risk-free, safe environment that allows you to do it over and over again, which reduces costs and increases learning opportunities.
The START Center hopes to see this kind of virtual reality used in other industries such as agriculture and healthcare. Lethbridge's largest outdoor concert is underway. This year's Thunder in the Bridge will feature a headliner performance by country music singer Josh Ross tonight. Rock Night will take over Saturday and will feature headliner the Glorious Sons. The annual concert is in the east parking lot of the visitlethbridge.com arena. This is the second year the concert is being held. Tickets are still available online. Well, the opening night of New West Theatre's Clue production is here.
Allow me to present to you your host for this evening and your blackmailer for life, Mr. Body.
From mysterious clues to outrageous accusations, Body Manor is filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered. Cast members describe the play as a fast-paced, laugh-out-loud mystery that keeps you guessing until the very end.
All of the characters that you know from the game and from the movie, Miss Scarlet, Colonel Mustard, Professor Plum, Mrs. White, all appear in this stage version. And it's a comic murder mystery where they're all invited for a dinner party and incredibly bad events unfold. Blackmail happens, people die.
Clue runs until September the 20th. You can get your tickets at visitlethbridge.com arena. Well, those looking to do some decluttering ahead of fall can put their unwanted items on their front lawn for the annual Reuse Rendezvous this weekend. Gently used items can be placed outside in front of your home from 9 a.m. to 5 o'clock tomorrow. If you do, you're asked to put a free sign out. The program started back in 2012 with hundreds of kilograms being diverted from the landfill each time. Organizers say the program has continued to grow year after year.
We know that this time of year, people are maybe sort of thinking about doing some of those cleanouts. Also, students are back in at the university and the Polytechnic, so we know that they're looking for, furniture and kitchen things and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a really good synergy for the event to be held this weekend.
Any items remaining at the end of the day must be brought back in. A list of homes taking part can be found on environmentlethbridge.ca. Danielle Savoni has your 5-day forecast when we come back from this break. Also, we'll tell you about the growing Alberta movement to hold off giving your kids smartphones.
All right, Skycam facing west, and things are getting better. Things are looking up, a little warmer, less smoky. Yeah. Nice heading into the weekend. Okay, 21 degrees was the high in Calgary today, 23 in Edmonton. So as you can see, things have improved a little bit with regards to temperature in many communities. Still not off to the east of us though. The high was just 14 in Regina today, 16 in Winnipeg. But I guess 16 is better than the 9 yesterday they had in Winnipeg. So it's a slow improvement, slow warm up. We got a little taste of fall in all of the prairies. and frost advisories in place for some communities. We'll touch on that in a second, but just a look at overall. We're looking at mainly the 20s throughout the entire province, 19 in Fort McMurray, but mainly those low 20s in southern Alberta. And Banff is one of the warmer spots at 23, Lethbridge also at 23, and Brooks. Here's a look at the frost advisory in place. Foremost, Manyberries, Medicine Hat, up through Empress, and basically just to the east of Brooks. Now, Brooks may dive right to that freezing mark overnight tonight as well. So it will be cold overall in the far south, especially overnight tonight, but especially off to the east is where we're looking at the freezing mark, and that's why there's the risk of patchy frost and to plants. So make sure you're aware of that. Okay, when we talk about smoke, we have mainly good conditions right now. We're low to moderate for the most part, so we're doing pretty good. But by Sunday, it looks like we're going to have this push from the west and this push from the north, which is going to circle around some BC smoke for us. So late Sunday, as you can see by your timestamp here, Sunday night, in through Monday, it will likely get quite smoky, especially in the far south. You can see that Lethbridge and off to the west, so it may pool in and settle in there. So we may bump back up above that moderate level on that air quality health index and get that poor air quality once again. Right now, though, we're under a ridge of high pressure, so there's not a whole lot to talk about other than late Sunday when we are talking active weather. There may be this line of thunderstorm activity that it will develop absolutely off in the mountains and then track off. It looks like it will have enough steam to even make its way to Highway 2 and even as far east as Lethbridge. There is the risk of thunderstorm activity and certainly some isolated showers. And again, that is later on Sunday, closer to the supper hours on Sunday. Hazy in the Kootenay, East Kootenay area, 28 degrees for the high for tomorrow. When we look at Christmas Pass, 6 degrees overnight, so reasonable, but still quite chilly because that leads to chilly mornings as well, as you know now, because we have less minutes of daylight. Okay, air quality health index moderate for tonight and then should be low for tomorrow. Small risk of a late day pop-up shower in the Christmas Pass area. Again, a high of 25. Medicine Hat, yes, this is why we have the frost advisory in place. Patchy frost is definitely likely, dropping to the freezing mark. We have a little bit of moisture out there. Air quality health index, though, tomorrow should be low and you're looking at a high of 26. And for Lethbridge, dropping to about 3 overnight tonight. 28 is a high for tomorrow. Air quality health index low, small chance of thunderstorm activity late Sunday, and then the air quality might get a little worse Sunday night in through Monday.
There's a growing group in Alberta encouraging parents to hold off giving their kids smartphones. Unplugged is also pushing for legislation to raise the minimum age of social media use to 16. It's also calling for privacy rules so companies can't monitor the data of underage kids. Kristen Sweet is the ambassador for the St. Albert chapter of the Parental Advocacy Group, which started last year. She says it's a question of children's mental health.
Having young children on social media is not a healthy step for them. We want kids learning how to use tech responsibly at age-appropriate times.
TikTok and stuff, short-form content, it's like people are kind of getting addicted to that, right? It's almost like a drug, like the dopamine.
Students we spoke to say children need phones to contact their parents and each other, but they also agree social media has affected the way they grew up. England is pushing hard with a ban on energy drinks for youth under the age of 16. It will ban them from buying Red Bull, Monster and Prime at shops, restaurants, vending machines and online. Up to a third of UK children are believed to consume these types of drinks every week. No official date has been set for the ban to come into effect. A consultation will now run for 12 weeks to gather more information. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, we introduce you to Canada's strongest man who happens to live right here in Alberta. It has been a tough start to the preseason for the Lethbridge Hurricanes. They have dropped their first 2 games, and they'll have a chance this weekend to grab their first preseason victory. Hurricanes will travel on Highway 3 to take on the Medicine Hat Tigers tomorrow night. The Tigers got the better of the Canes in the preseason opener with a 7-4 win in Lethbridge. Puck drop is at 7. A man in Edmonton recently earned the title of strongest man in Canada. When he's not training for or competing, he's protecting the community. CTV's Amanda Anderson explains.
From an early age, Tristan Hoth was inspired by some of the strongman competitors he saw on TV.
It was always something that, myself and my dad and my brother would always try and watch together.
After years of hard work, Hoth is not only one of them, he now has the title of Canada's strongest man in 2025.
The amount of work I've put in it's been 8 years of competing, and to hold this title for 2025, I was like, I'm the first Western athlete in the strongman circuit history in Canada to ever win.
The title and trophy were earned through 6 events at the national show in late August.
So I scored 74.5 out of a total possible 78 points.
You gotta turn it on now. This, the toughest event, one Hoth says no one finished. They had to pull a 35,000-pound dump truck loaded with concrete blocks to the finish line.
And then I pulled, I think it was a 60-foot course, and I pulled 56 feet. So shy by about 4 feet.
He was 12 points ahead going into the last challenge. He crushed it, becoming only the 5th or 6th person to finish in the event's history.
Being one of those top guys ever to finish the stone run, cement myself in history, I had so many emotions going through my body and myself at that point. It was unbelievably, I was just so happy for it.
When Hoth isn't in the gym, he's out protecting people in Southeast Edmonton as a police officer.
Training's helped because I'm a large individual now and I command presence when I come into a room, and it's very obvious at a lot of places that, as soon as I walk in, people pay attention. Yeah, there's been quite a few requests for me to be on different squads. And
Hoth not only hopes to stand on the podium at an elite world competition in the future, but hopes to keep his national title as long as possible.
I'm excited to defend it next year.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Still ahead on the CTV News at 5. What would it be worth to you to get your hands on Darth Vader's actual lightsaber? That story's next. Darth Vader's actual lightsaber has sold for millions at a movie memorabilia auction.
You are unwise to lower your defenses.
The iconic red lightsaber sold for more than $3.6 million at auction yesterday. Vader wielded the weapon in the Star Wars films The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The lightsaber was one of several famous movie and television props included in Prop Store's 3-day entertainment memorabilia live auction in Los Angeles. Other items included Michael Keaton's suit worn in Batman and the whip used by Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. Well, thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.